a good side, lavo. Hello guys, welcome to the Culture Talk. This is your soon-to-be favorite automotive podcast. We are live on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and we'll just keep you in the loop regarding all the other platforms that we'll be in. My name is Chaviso, and I'm of course not rolling alone. I'm with my girl B.
Hi guys, I'm Bonolo. On social media, you'll find me as Black Bonnie. I'm part of Carlture Talk.
And then there's Mr. Lebzale.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Lebzalaga. On social media at Lebzalaga, at the real Lebzalaga.
And then the last but not least, Mr. Sipo.
What's up, everyone? My name is Sipo. On social media, you'll find me using the name Spoiled Sipo. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, that was the intro. So basically what's going to be going on, we'll be talking all things cars. We'll be discussing car shows, your latest in the tuning scene, everything that's about cars. Just you'll find it here, trust, and there's dope content that we have lined up. And we'll also be having guests in the coming weeks, so stay tuned. Yeah, Lebza, what do you have for the guys today?
Today, what we're having is, so we're going to do a roundup of what's happening in the scene this past 2 months, I think. And then from there, we're going to have news. And I think that's what everyone is looking out for. And then from there, we're gonna focus more on the stand scene today. And then I think from there, then we can cut it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we get into the hang of things, I just want to ask the gents, Sipo, why this podcast? Why are we doing this? Why are you here? In fact, let's start there.
For me personally, there's a lot of underground things that are happening within the automotive scene.
Sure.
And I would like this podcast / channel to be much more of a corrector or of an educator to what's happening within the car scene. So yeah, I'm looking at this channel to be much more of an educational channel more than anything.
Okay, sure, I get you, Sipo the educator, sure.
Just to add on also to what Sipo was saying, we feel that there shouldn't be any really divisions. Yes, as people we have preferences, but we just felt that we should cover everything, all things cars. Be it those who are into what's the stance, performance, or just reviewing, whatever that's out there. So that's what we're about.
Okay. I guess me, I'm all thing. I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle. I'm stance. I'm mods. I'm reviews. I'm everything.
And photograph.
And I'm everything, dude. So I'm in the middle. So I just want people to get to know me, for one. Know the guys that I'm with. Know the stunt scene. Know the mod scene. I mean, not all of us know everything. So I guess for all of us here, it's a learning curve. We want to know the ins and outs. Not the ins and outs, but most things. So I guess that's my part.
I guess you guys want to know which Funani la. Basically, for me, it's just an opportunity to talk about cars. I just love cars, and I like you guys, and I think everyone watching this will agree when I say there's a lot of things happening at the moment in the automotive scene, be it locally, internationally, and there's a whole lot of topics that we don't necessarily have platforms to speak about, and I would love for this channel to be one of those platforms and grow a community where we have people speaking on the socials all the time, just like how there's one thing I like, car Twitter. Yeah, and I want us to build a community like that where we have everyone just talking about cars all the time,
So these past few weeks, there were a few various shows that happened, drive-bys, whatever the case may be. And unfortunately, I wasn't there to attend the DriveMod, but the rest of the crew was there. So, B, the pilot of the crew of the day, how was the drive-by?
Well, we were late leaving, only for us to realize that we are driving a car that was in limp mode. So imagine, guys, getting to Harties at 75 kilometers an hour
Imagine.
max.
Imagine.
That was me,
Yeah.
the driver, Speedy Gonzalez. But we made it. We couldn't actually keep up with the convoy because of the car driving in the mode. So we just accepted that the yellow lane was our friend.
Yeah.
Of course, we just got things a bit chilled or easy, whatever, using music until we finally got to V8 Roadhouse, and that's where we met up with all the other Janes, and it was just a joy sitting around, car Twitter people,
Yeah.
meeting some new people, putting faces to the names for some. So Lev, you can tell us about your experience.
For me, I feel like that breakfast run was needed. A lot of the breakfast run we attended, they kind of distant. Like we don't get the actual fact of why the breakfast run was done.
Yes.
And I think for DriveMod,
Especially the one we attended in January.
yeah. So I feel with the DriveMod one, the context was there, the reason was there, and for us, all of us, to come together at V8 Roadhouse, I think that was beautiful. To put the name to the face, so I feel like it was worthwhile, even though we never thought, but we got there.
And just to add on regarding our bad experiences with breakfast runs, the biggest issue for me has to be clicks. I mean, people are driving from all around, some out of GP to attend, and we cannot really focus on the people we know.
Yeah.
We cannot make them feel more welcome, you know. Then if that's the case, you shouldn't put flyers of your breakfast runs on social media.
Right.
Share them amongst your friends because you want them to attend, and they are the only people that will get recognition.
Yeah.
So I just felt that that is something we need to correct, because it's going to be killing the spirit where we can come together as different individuals, know different stories about each other through breakfast runs.
Yeah.
That is not achieved because now people just focus on the one with the fastest ride or the one they know. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you go there, it's a like a smaller I-20 pictures. They didn't even take pictures of your car.
Doesn't have a table.
Doesn't have a
table.
Yeah, but point I look at and it's actually a good point, because the point, I think, of breakfast runs, or why I started attending breakfast runs, was because, and not only breakfast runs, including car shows,
Yeah.
was because you go there and meet like-minded people and make new friends, because I've made a lot of friends throughout the years via the car scenes. But
Yeah.
over the past, let's say, since 2019, I'll be glad it's like, only talk to the people you know. It's not even about the cars anymore.
Yeah.
There's no sonali masuka within the space, so it's
Yeah. I mean, I come from a place where I used to attend shows alone. I feel like recently it's not something I would do, because you'll be made to feel like the odd one out if you don't have a clique that you belong to. Which is somehow killing the culture, because now, what if I want to attend a show? My friends can't come with me. I'm not going to go because I know if I go there, I'm going to be made to feel like an outsider because there is no clique I'm belonging to.
Quick question there, Sipo, since when are you from PE? How's the scene that side in terms of breakfast run? Is it the same like this side, or Rikambanyala?
In terms of Eastern Cape car scene, the only breakfast run you'd find is supercar breakfast runs. Other than that, it's the stunts game practically covering the whole city. For example, PE. PE is known as the Windy City or Slam City, because pretty much every car in Port Elizabeth is slammed, be it static,
I
on
think
air.
I saw my first body slam from PE. You posted it on Twitter.
Yeah.
So when it comes to runs, when it comes to breakfast runs in particular, you'd only find supercars. So yeah, that's the only run you'd see when it comes to that side.
So it's mainly for the money. That's
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
trying to say.
yeah. Other than that, anything other than the supercar runs, it's charity runs, but mainly within the stunt scene.
Okay.
So charity or anything towards the less fortunate is done by the stunt scene in
And
particular.
how have you seen any change in attendance? Is it getting better or is it getting worse?
It's getting better that side.
Okay.
It's getting better that side to a point where, look at the Stunts is Not a Crime run, that was that side.
Yeah.
It held a lot of weight to a point where it was recognized by the ENCA.
Yes.
And now, if you're hosting a run and you're fighting towards something, that's what the end result should be, of getting the attention to a point where in Port Elizabeth now, you can take your car that's riding on 2 springs through that truck that does the roadworthy test.
Okay.
As long as your indicators work, wipers, whatever the case may be, they fine. They don't really
Main
care about your
functions
suspension.
of the car.
So that was the whole point of that run, and they got what they wanted. So I was happy with it.
So speaking like in the terms of stance, so what do you think the stance is not a crime run that we had here in Joburg? What do you think of it?
I feel like it was much more of a machita run rather than a stance, not a crime
Get
run.
together.
Because I don't know, man. We didn't even know about it.
I didn't even
Only
know
a few
about
people
it.
knew about it.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you this: there was that run, and then there was another one. I think a day or 2 days later.
Yeah.
So there were different runs within different cliques. And now there wasn't an end goal towards those runs. It was just a hangout practically.
Yeah.
And now I would expect Johannesburg in particular to have more weight because it's a bigger city.
Right.
Yeah.
I would expect, laws to be put into place because, everyone came through from
Right.
different angles, north, east, whatever.
Right.
But nothing happened.
Because I feel for me it was useless to a point. I feel like I didn't understand why there was a hashtag being done or a run being done. Because at church, I figured, the guys told me that when they got there, they chilled, and then I think a few hours later, cops came and they chased them away. Some of them they took their discounts, and some of them they had to arrest him. So the point is, you fighting a system, whereas you guys are not doing what's right, or what you're doing is not legal. Understand what I'm saying? So I feel like the hashtag was just useless.
So
That's my point. I feel like the hashtag was
Are you saying
useless.
what they're doing is not legal? Are you saying stance is a crime?
I think what he's trying to say is you get to Stance Church, you start drinking. When you start drinking, you're going to drive drunk. Then what happens?
I'm speaking in terms of we here in Joburg there's not much slammed cars.
Okay.
There's not much slammed cars. I think what a slammed car you'd get is a car in A.
Polo.
That's what you get. It's a car in A. Whereas in PE, I think those guys are big on coils.
If you go to PE, I remember 2018, Love More. The route that you take to the venue,
Right.
it's a main road, and then the field is on the other street behind. Discs were taken on the main road, and gents will still continue to drive to the event. They don't care.
On coils.
Never mind on cars. People drive with no springs, just shocks.
So you see the difference. Here in Joburg, we big on coils, we big on air, so it's not much of slammed cars. Whereas that side, the reason was they fighting the system, whereas these guys they always taking their licenses, they always being fined. So you find here in Joburg, it's just a stance is not a crime hashtag.
Just to go off topic a little bit, I'm seeing a lot of races now at ODI. Does that mean that people are no longer going to go to the secret location?
ODI has been there for years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
been there for years. I think that venue is it's not a secret.
Not anymore.
It's like, I don't know if this example makes sense.
But didn't Tenos also just race recently? Someone was speaking about the Tenos car on the TL, and I mean, look, usually we'd hear about it racing at secret location, and like I'm saying, I haven't seen a lot of
I think-
videos or clips coming out from that.
I think what contributes to that is, remember, we're just coming out of COVID. So now,
The numbers.
not everyone, but most of the people that go there are like, it's a small group of people that
Yeah.
go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You understand? So there are not a lot of spectators.
Mm.
Okay.
And usually you'd find that it's the spectators that make the
Videos.
secret location say trend or ODI
Oh.
trend. But now it's a thing of, it's just crews that just, I'm sorry, it's like, let's say VPR 357, okay, on this date let's go race chance, Bavabalo race, or they just see snippets. Because, and the only reason why you see them is because chances are most of the time it's like WhatsApp, because you know people that do these things.
Yeah.
Oh.
But on like the bigger scale, social media, you'll just see here and there.
The
You
big
understand?
races or
Yeah,
world
but
races
yeah.
that wowed
So,
people.
so that's like an issue, yeah.
For example, with what you're saying, it's not about, nowadays, it's not about the venue, but the groups. I'm not sure if most of you guys know, but before Thanos became black, it was that silver color, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Reason why he actually went ahead and built his engine was because of what happened at a private run.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know what happened at the private run.
Do you know?
That's for the next show. That's for the next show.
Coming
That's for
soon.
the next
Coming
show.
soon. Coming soon.
And funny how it happened. It happened in a way where no one expected it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, so that's why he had to rebuild his engine.
And that's why now people are going crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I think there was a race. When was it? I think a week back at Rhino Park. Insane Racing hosted that race. And
Good tuners those ones.
yeah, so I think it's also who do you know, and who do you associate yourself with.
Yeah.
So, and also with covered numbers also. So I think it's one of those things. ODI has been there.
Yes.
aka Khavalatani has been there. I think a lot of people announced the day before that they're going to ODI.
Yeah.
Because if it was me also, I would have known like in the week. So I only known the day before.
Yeah.
So it's about who you know, and yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, so let's move on to what's been happening on Twitter this week, guys. I think the biggest one would be the Golf R chowing everything. That's a take.
I think let's start with you.
Because
I came as a
you
surprise.
are
PM fan.
a BMW.
Yeah.
Pima.
Let's start with you, Sexy Pima.
Okay, so for me personally, I don't rate the thing, the new Gen 1 series. Honestly, I don't rate it. 135, everything. I don't
I
rate
feel like
it.
it's more feminine.
I don't rate it. So whatever it does, who it gets child by, like I cannot tell.
Yeah.
On
I'm-
the F20 generation, like okay, there I'd be worried, but now it's like.
I'm disappointed the fact that they went from 6 cylinders all the way back to 4.
But that's what everyone's doing. Check out now, Mercedes is dropping the
63.
63
But BM is still keeping with the 6-in-line twin turbo.
on the M4.
M3 and M4.
On the M3 and M4.
So it seems like BMW with the M3, M4 is still keeping it in contact.
for how long?
Yeah.
Yeah,
good
that's
question.
a good question.
Give it the next, 3-4 years. Because in the next 2 years, they're going to facelift again.
Just a little disclaimer. We do have a Beamer head amongst us.
Mr. Sexy Pima.
Unfortunately,
The sexy Beamer.
majority rules.
Yeah.
But, okay, guys, fear not. You
Yeah.
have someone representing you, Beamer heads.
Yeah.
And it's really up to him if he's gonna do a good job or what, because yeah, he's up against many people.
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah, and unfortunately for this time, I ask this. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so come on. Me, I just feel like BMW dropped the ball as soon as they switch. They moved from rear-wheel drive to front-wheel drive. Because I remember the first time driving this latest one series. When I stepped into the car, the sitting position already, man, I was like, is this like a mini crossover? What's happening? Because I don't understand. The way it pulls. I was like,
With how it pulls, I remember 2018 BMW M Fest. They would give you an 850, they would give you a 135, they would give you an M3, M4, and an M2 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I jumped in the 135, and I'm thinking, I didn't know much about the car at the time. So I already had the 6-cylinder in mind. Jumped into the car. As I'm gunning it down, I'm like, 6-cylinder is not supposed to do this. After I finished driving, I asked the instructor, what engine does the car have? He says, it's a 4-cylinder. And I'm like, that's why it has a turbo. Now I understand. So they dropped the ball big time.
So you guys are moving away from the Golf to the BMW.
Golf, save the best for last. Save the best for last.
I wanted to know, what are your thoughts on the Golf, on the new Golf R?
I think the new Golf R is going to kill a lot of cars, given the fact that its tuning platform will also be something to look into.
Hey.
Look at, okay, I'm going to name drop a guy. Look at Bahrain's 7R. He would catch and pass you in your S3, in your 140, in your 235. So that means, or it puts VW in a position where you can tune your car to chow any other car. As long as you've got a nice map, you've got fine. You may get your turbo upgrade, you may get your intercool upgrade.
Yeah.
But just tuning alone is going to give you a lot of power. So I'm happy with what the 8R did, and I feel like it can give the current RS3 a run for its money.
Even though they're from the same family, same group.
You think that it's gonna show the RS3?
I rate it could give the RS3 a run for its money.
Yeah, but it showed it most on the tour video.
That was the
S3.
S3.
Yeah, so there's still the RS3 still to come. So I also feel like, but I don't think it would chow the S3. But that's your opinion. But I don't think it would chow the S3. Thing is, we don't know what's the kilowatts on that car. Volkswagen used to tell us what are the actual kilowatts on that car, and I think from there we can just take it from there.
They said it's 223, 225.
Let's wait for someone to dyno it full stop.
Full stop.
Because VW is going to say 220 something.
Yeah.
But when you dyno the car after you've collected it from the dealership, it's going to say 230, 240. So who's wrong, who's right?
Who's wrong, who's right? Because from the videos on social media, the thing moves, dude. It can't be 2 something.
It moves rolling, it moves from dead stop. And it can't be those kilowatts.
Can't be.
SARS.
Can't be.
And also,
Let's see if the math will check out, guys.
Can we just touch on how bad the 835 did?
I'm a millionaire.
Look, I just think that one is just also like for aesthetics now. You shouldn't look at it.
I don't know what to say.
Trying to be like someone on the road. That's my take on that Merc.
I don't know.
And Mara, on your point, when Sipo and I were driving earlier on, he was asking why didn't they use the 45 instead?
Exactly.
True.
Because the 45 is in production.
Yeah.
The 45 has been rolled out already, but they chose to use the 35, which is something I don't understand. If I'm not mistaken, I think the 35 is a 1.8 and the 45 is a 2 liter.
I think they're all 2 liters.
You think so?
Yeah.
They are all 2 liters. It makes sense, but why do they use the R and the 135? Is it the 135, right, on the BM? And then they use the S3 and the 35. They should have used the RS3 and the 45 with the 135 and the R.
I think they're trying to keep up with generations more than anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now it raises a question. If you're trying to keep up with generations, still, why did you take the 35 instead of the 45? And even worse, there's a 45S.
Another thing could be pricing.
Oh, they borrowed the cars. How?
No, he's saying in terms of
when you look
in
at
the segment
market,
yeah.
You know, maybe they like
Because I
pricing,
think
because maybe when you move from 45, it jumps to a different price range. I don't know how Mercedes prices their cars.
But I think for me, I would rather think that race was more based on engine and what the car can do more than the actual price.
Because back to your point when you said VW gives us a tuning platform. And in all honesty, the R has always been a special car. The R regime.
From 35, from Mark 5
from
up
Mark
32.
5. Yeah. From Mark 5.
It's always been a special car.
Yeah.
And then another interesting one that almost, I think it divided the
Yeah,
space
big time.
almost a week.
Big time.
The
128 Ti.
The GTI killer.
What do you think? I think we must start.
What's your take,
What's
Mr.
your
Sexy
take?
Team?
What's your take?
But guys, I mean, he already mentioned that he's already not sold.
No,
So-
but that's
That was on the 135.
so on this one. I'm just thinking more than anything, the GTI killer was a marketing tool for BMW.
Big time.
Big time.
And
Big
also
time.
because it's the first production hedge,
Frontal drive, yeah.
So, and now they're going straight head to head now, really, with the
With the GTI.
You know, because back then there'd be debates with but this one is rear-wheel drive, so it
It's
has
not in the same league.
yeah, it has some sort of advantage, you know.
Yeah.
So BM, and I think also what happened. This I might be wrong. I didn't like do any like research. I might be wrong. This is just my idea. I just feel like BMW did what they did with the new generation, and they saw Gucci they messed up. So they just needed to bounce back somewhere somehow, and someone up there was like, let's do the 120 Ti, front wheel drive, head to head GTI, and then they're like, okay, let's do the 128.
And I think the biggest thing with that whole topic is that the term GTI killer didn't come from BMW.
Yeah.
It came from.
It came from the streets, Jay.
It didn't.
Reviewers as
It
well.
came from the streets,
Oh,
Jay.
okay.
And then BMW saw, okay, GTI killer, let's run with it.
Because I think also Hyundai did the same thing.
Yeah, the hand was also supposed to be the GTI killer, but
But yeah, I guess then for me it's about generation.
But we also, guys, need to give props to VW.
It goes back to tuning platform.
Regardless of that, I just feel like with GTI, it's one of those cars where it's sold based on reputation. I mean, every time it came out, they'd always race it with cars that are somewhat in its league,
Right.
and it wouldn't perform so well, but in numbers, it would still sell. So I mean, whoever that's
in
behind
South
it
Africa, ne?
at VW, well, in South Africa.
Yeah.
Because we are like the GTI's biggest market outside of Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, from Mark 1.
From Mark 1.
Imagine.
From Mark 1.
Even today, you'd find a Mark 1 GTI for more than 50, 60, 70 grand. Possibly more than 100.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I think now it's a generational thing. People trust. It's a
Do you
trust thing.
think someone mentioned that the GTI is doing so well because most of us, we grew up around in, you know, like we are influenced. It was.
I think it's the consistency for me.
Plus, I need to
Yeah.
know what they say
Consistency.
on Twitter
Yeah.
about the I word E something something something. So you know what the GTI can get you. Okay?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a proper panty dropper. So
But
when you're in your early 20s or like mid 20s, and GTI, let's go.
yeah, but what is it that made girls be like, actually, I'm gonna recognize a guy that drives this car? It's
I think-
reputation, I say.
Reputation plays a part, but also consider styling.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Consider styling because look at the rim choices for a 135 as compared to a GTI.
Yeah.
Look at the rim choices as compared to an S3 and a GTI. GTI, if I'm not mistaken, has 2 if not 3 rim choices. Correct me if I'm wrong.
On a GTI or on a
GTI.
on all the specs.
GTI.
Yeah, I think it has 3 or 2. I think if I'm
Just
not
to off
mistaken.
ramp a little bit. So with what you said, do you guys think the GTI is like the new age 325 or new age E30?
It is. It is for me.
Cause
I choose not to speak on this.
Check the pricing. Check. Okay.
Just, my man, on you said what makes girls go for the GTI?
Yeah.
I think it's the same reason that made girls back in the days go for
The 325.
the
guy in the
325.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, mama, koso.
It's the sound, it's the styling, it's the association. Okay, back then it was associated with tags.
Yeah.
Even today,
You were
though.
tarata.
Yeah.
No, I get you. But I get like we're comparing back in the days then, because now
Yeah.
you can't really compare the two. The GTI is like huge now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the E30 is long past its time. Manje like siya forced. No, it's
He
still
said
like,
it.
no, wait,
He said it. He said it.
You guys are coming for me.
Mr.
No,
Sexy
man,
P.
no, come on.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm even losing my train of thought now. So yeah, I was just saying, Ore, the thing that made our sisters or aunts or whoever go for E30 guys are almost the same reasons that make you guys go for the GT. Like, it's your styling, it's the revs, it's like when
If
you have the
only.
car, the
Yeah.
performance.
If only the GTI was a rear-wheel drive.
But I can't feel it drift mode, no.
R on the R, not the GTI.
GTI,
But
chief.
still a Vupa.
You see, it's aligned with what you're saying. Sound. Frupa. Do. Kusheshe is a rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. It's very difficult for GTI drivers to do a donut in a front-wheel drive car.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing the cars. I was just saying.
You're mirroring.
Yeah.
You're mirroring, yeah.
But times have changed now, so you don't need to do a donut now. I had to get the middies.
You do.
Do you?
No.
Oh,
No, you don't need to.
Go to a car now. You'd find Owens doing reverse donuts in a Mach 1.
Yeah, but I think those ones are the so-called
Guys, if I'm at a
abafuna ukuba
premium
ama-petrol
close
head.
spot and a guy comes through in a GTI, he doesn't have to work hard.
He
to get
doesn't
my
have to
attention.
work hard.
What do you mean?
She said it. Anyone on the GTI. Now, of course.
So I think it's just it's moving on with the times. You don't need to do a donut now to get the middies. The GTI speaks for itself. The engine, the ride, how it looks, sunroof, interior, it just speaks for itself. So I think
And this was us drifting from the 128. We had so much to talk about that 128.
Yeah.
You guys can like say what you think. Me, I just think it's like, yeah, we'll get there.
I'm just waiting for someone to take a 128 and put it up against a Mach 8 GTI. Then we'll see what's going to happen. I'm actually happy with the
Wasn't that
GT.
the race
So-
posted by the, I think it was UK gents? What Golf
with
8
the
was that?
wasn't it the 135?
Sipo,
What's up?
just for your point where you say you're just waiting for someone to take the 128 and the Mark 8 GTI. So now I'm asking. I can't what's a GTI killer, so I'm asking. So because remember when it launched, a whole lot of journalists went there and said, yeah, the GTI should be scaled. So don't you think it's like it is a possible threat?
Yeah, your destination is on the right.
You think the 128 will be a threat?
No, I don't think. I'm asking. Actually, now you are saying what you say, and I'm saying, good. No, me, I've never driven it. I don't know, but you have people that drove it. We had a bunch of journalists and influencers that drove it and came back and say GTI should be scared. What do you guys think about
But
it?
now they drove the car and they haven't driven the Mark 8 GTI.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
So are you saying?
And they were comparing it to the 7.
Exactly.
Okay.
Not
And
the
now
8.
don't forget a fully. First of
they
all,
put it was the TI 128 Ti next to a white Golf 7 GTI.
now let's go back to first of all, how much is a 128 Ti?
Base price like 6 something.
A fully spec Mark 8 GTI, fully spec is 670,000.
This is said to be or it's done?
Fully spec.
Fully spec.
No. What I'm saying is this confirmed or
It's confirmed.
Okay,
It's confirmed. Sunroof, whatever, it's there.
Seat
Fully
warmer.
spec.
Seat warmer.
Fully spec.
Yeah,
And when are you going to buy a 128?
Standard one even.
Broke boy spec. Broke boy spec. Angiti, they're saying if you're buying a Golf 7R and it doesn't have an Akrapovic, it's a broke boy spec.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you've got an R and it's got those exhaust tips, rich boy spec.
Poverty
But that's the
spec,
one thing
that
I
one.
like about VW.
Okay, guys, wait. It's either you are not hearing me or Lenshaparapo. I'm gonna say this again and I'm gonna ask this again. I am saying, I hear what you guys are saying, and you guys heard what I have to say. Ane? But hearsay, sharp. But me, I'm saying, journalists and influencers, when the car launched, they went out, tested this car, and said the GTI should be afraid.
Okay. Question. They're saying the GTI should be
Yeah,
afraid.
they didn't say 7 or 8. They just said the GTI should be afraid.
Have they driven the GTI?
Yes.
Obviously. Not the 8, obviously.
The
but
7.
Yeah, obviously. The 7.5.
Have they driven it against the 128?
That's my thing.
But guys, wait.
You can't say
can't
the
talk in theory.
GTI should be afraid if you haven't driven the GTI.
But, my man.
Or
I hear you, wait. I hear you. But now, if I drive a 3 Series and then I go and drive an A4, for example, I know how the other one drives. So I can compare because I've driven them both. The guys drove they've obviously driven the GTI 6,
7
7.5.
GTI.
Wait. And now they went to test the 128. And obviously, with these cars, the next generation or the upgrade, they're not far apart from the previous. The
Power-wise.
Power-wise and handling. They are like you have those minor differences, but they're not that far apart. So the journalists came back and said the GTI should be afraid.
Mara, now you see, my thing is them saying that it's far-fetched, because don't forget that you must look at specs when you're speccing that GTI. There's tires, for example. Look at the 7.5R. It comes with PS4s, Pilot Cup tires.
Can I just cut before you make your point? I'm sure these guys have a certain criteria that they use before they say things, and I would love to believe that they tick those boxes before coming back and saying the GTI should be afraid.
So now, I think...
Wait.
Yeah.
This I think with what you just said now, can the viewers help us with what the criteria is?
Exactly.
Because we don't know what the criteria is.
Exactly.
The viewers themselves don't know.
But they have a criteria,
They have a
right?
criteria.
So those influencers,
Oh, you are saying the reviewers.
the reviewers or the influencers that drove the
Because
car.
I don't believe them. Personally, you don't believe them.
Personally, I don't.
When I live,
I don't.
I don't.
you don't.
Yeah.
I would just like to know what the criteria is. Or should we now start trusting car reviewers more than influencers? Because now the thing is, how many car reviewers that we all know actually went ahead and test drove the car?
The ones that went to the launch.
Who were those reviewers?
Whom are you?
You guys can check. I'm sure you guys will see some of them.
Yeah, but some of them we know.
Let me just say, the car reviewers we trust. Whom of them? I won't name.
We don't name and shame, but
Shame, okay. Okay.
we won't name and shame, but some of them we follow them. We follow those guys' journey. I feel like, yeah, man.
For me personally, I don't trust the
I don't trust.
I don't trust the influencers who went ahead and said the car is a GTI killer or a GTI should be scared or whatever the case may be.
My only thing is that I just feel like let's just wait for the GTI to come or the GTI to launch.
You see, my thing is, let's just the UK has the GTI and the 128.
Yeah.
Let's wait for the UK to put both of the cars up against each other.
Because maybe you trust them.
For me,
we trust them,
not we trust them, but they're putting the cars head to head.
And in terms of content-wise, it makes sense.
I feel like, over the years, we've just lost it because now we talk a lot in theory more than practicals,
I mean,
magazines were there, yes, with the theory, or sometimes they'd obviously put it in print, whatever practical things that were done. But now, I cannot say that this car X is in the same league as Y when I haven't put them up against each other. So this is just a theory I'm making.
I mean, yeah, you really can't say it should give a GTI a run for its money or whatever the case may be, up until you've driven the car. I mean, you can't take a 128, drive it up 500 meter stretch and say, it should be afraid.
Okay. See that.
Because I mean, it's a 500 meter stretch. You're not turning, you're not twisting.
Yeah.
You're just driving straight.
Yeah.
First, second, third gear. Ah, come on.
Okay. No,
So basically, here to wrap things up is that let's just wait for the GTI to drop.
Let's wait for the GTI to race up against the 128 wherever. Doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah.
Then we can say, okay, no. It's giving.
Speak on something we are actually
Exactly.
seeing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, I know it's
Okay.
fine. I think that's all for today.
I think that's all for today. It was a mouthful, but we got it through.
This is only the beginning.
This is only the beginning.
Oh, we've got a surprise at the end. There was a caller who was being called earlier on, and we managed to get a verpa
Out of that caller.
out of that caller.
Yeah. Okay.
Stay tuned.
You'll see.
Okay.
tuned.
Sure, guys. Thanks for staying, watching, and listening.
You didn't waste your data. You didn't waste your data.
If you're listening via the Apple Podcast or Spotify, thank you for listening. If you're on YouTube, thanks for taking your time to watch us. We appreciate you guys. Please subscribe, like, and comment.
And follow.
And follow also on YouTube, it's Carlture Talk. On Instagram, it's Carlture Talk. And on Twitter, it's Carlture T. And the culture is CARL. CAR. So it's Carlture Talk. And then on Twitter, it's Carlture T. And then you can just follow us on our personals.
You'll see the names on the straps.
Yeah.
Before
Yes.
you end it, I think we should involve the car community with this criteria thing. I think we should start some sort of a hashtag on what is this criteria.
Or maybe we should just say...
How do you pick and say, this car's chowing that one?
No, I think it's simple. If there's any influencer out there, motoring influencer or reviewer or journalist even, they would like to come and have a talk with us regarding this issue.
That's driven the 128.
I don't think it's that's
That's driven the one.
Maybe
Wait.
the influencers hasn't driven the 128,
No, wait.
but knows the criteria.
Wait. I get we trying to get to the criteria, and because we're now okalang 500 meters straight. So I'm just saying, maybe if there's a journalist, reviewer, influencer, whatever you call yourself or whatever you are, who just wants to come and explain to us and the people watching, please, let's make it happen. Come through, join us, and then because I know it's not even you guys. It's a whole lot of people on Twitter and on everywhere that don't understand how some guys came or are coming to some conclusion with regards to the cars that they drive and review on social media.
And for those who would actually like to be featured here, we are just currently in Johannesburg, Sandton. Hopefully going forward, be a podcast that will move around and be able rather to come to you if there's something maybe you would like to showcase and it can't necessarily move around. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all, guys. Just we're gonna be dropping every 2 weeks, month, or we're still deciding. Okay, sharp.
Coming soon.
Yeah, we'll update you guys, but otherwise stay tuned for the next drop. We'll just announce on our socials when the next episode will be coming. Thank you.
And it's
For
a
your time.
wrap. And
It's
it's
been real.
a wrap.
So rare.